Donuts.
Hello and welcome to the
Dolls and Donuts
podcast, episode 22. In addition to our usual segments, we'll bring you some live snippets from our very own South Bay Veg Fest. We'll talk about my trip to DC, and we're going to have an interview with Melissa from Vegan Kids magazine.
So, speaking of Veg Fest, or are you calling it Vegan Fest? I don't even remember what it was called. California Summer Fun Fest.
Summer, totally fun plant-based fest.
The name was really difficult for me to remember. I think I called it something different every time.
That's why.
And I didn't know what the hashtag was, whereas I feel like when I go to like Eat Drink Vegan or the Beer and Food Fest,
it has to have a catchy name.
that way
the hashtag is catchy, and it was not catchy.
Not at all. I can see...
it was too much going on.
Yeah. I can see the difficulty in branding, though, because when we did Vegan Prom... There's some people think that you shouldn't put the word vegan in things because then you won't attract the non-vegans.
I feel like that was what they were going for here.
Yeah, so it makes the branding a little more difficult. I guess you decide before you're going to organize the event. You're like, is this for vegans or is it for
or is it not? And is there vegan? There's just vegan options there. Yeah. I mean, you have to just yeah. Anyway.
So are we going to give our thoughts about it, or are we just going to play our clips? What was your thought about it?
We can do both.
I mean, I saw you briefly there.
Yeah, I was there
for most of the part.
I was there when it opened, and I was there when it opened. After it opened, obviously, after 11. Was it 11? It opened. Yeah, it opened at 11, and we got there, and Matt and I, and stuff wasn't finished being set up. They didn't have proper signage about where you buy a ticket or where you've already had your ticket. So people were just what line am I in? They weren't ready at 11. None of the food was open for it was probably 11:30 before the food opened, which whatever. So we just walked around the inside with the vendors, half of which had nothing to do with veganism. But again,
really?
Yeah.
Wait, what were some of the vendors? I didn't even
there was a LuLaRoe person. There was just clothing.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying. Clueless Corner!
Clueless Corner. It's basically one of those... you sell a representative, so people sell it. You're what?
So a pyramid scheme? No.
Sorry, you're on the right track. You're not totally off.
Okay.
Yeah,
Arbonne.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Kind of similar to that. You're a representative and you sell the clothing. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, that sounds.
There's someone like that there. There was a library, or not a library. I'm sorry, a bookstore.
But it was all vegan books?
No.
Oh, okay. Vegan-owned bookstore?
I didn't see anything to indicate that it was vegan-related. I could be wrong, but it looked like it was just a bookstore.
Books that pair well with vegan food.
It's this white wine will pair well with this book about fish. It's okay. There was, essential oil lady or some person.
I can see how that's kind of... I get loosely related.
Very
I know
loosely.
A lot of vegans who are into essential oils.
Yes, that's true.
But there's also probably a lot of muggles who are too.
I can't remember now. I mean, there were animal rights places. The Sea Shepherd was there. There were the Humane League, I think, was there. There were places there that were vegan related, and they had some vegan merchandise and stuff. So there was, but I was surprised that it was not as much as I was expecting.
Yeah.
Food was really, really good. Our friends at Vegan Nation were there, and Southern Fried Vegan were both there. So it was a bunch of soul food. So I ate a lot of that. That was the highlight.
What did you get at Southern Fried Vegan?
We got the bowl.
What was the bowl?
So you could choose. So we got, I think, coleslaw, mac and cheese, and then there was the chicken. And it was all together in a big bowl. And it was, not a little big bowl. It was quite a small bowl. It was kind of difficult to eat because it was piled up pretty high.
Yeah.
And then we got the, was it a Philly cheesesteak, I think, from there too?
How does Southern Fried Vegan's mac and cheese compare to Vegan Nation's mac and cheese?
It's not totally different. They have different noodles, different shaped noodles. If that offends you.
Were they alphabet?
If that's where you draw your line. Because Vegan Nation uses the shells. Mm-hmm. And I think Southern Fried Vegan uses, the tubular ones that are kind of flat. That's weird. I don't know. I'm not a pasta connoisseur, sorry. But they're kind of similar. I mean, I think Vegan Nations is better, but I still ate it.
Yeah,
for sure.
did.
So I was starved. We had Southern Fried Vegans first. They opened first and ate that up for sure. And then I also had the, what's that called? Funnel cake.
Oh, yeah.
From Vegan Nation. I haven't had a funnel cake.
Like in forever.
Forever.
Yeah, same.
It's just, it was like a real like nostalgic thing as well as tasting good. So.
And did you used to have funnel cakes at a fair or at an amusement park?
Yeah, it's a very fair thing.
I feel like that too.
And I remember, it's like the memory, like my funnel cake memory is really when at the America section of Epcot at Disney World, they have a funnel cake stand. And I remember Matt had no idea what a funnel cake was. He had never had a funnel cake. This is pre-vegan days. Right. So I don't even know what was made with it or anything. But we got a funnel cake from there and he had his first funnel cake. So...
And was he like, "This isn't all the? Where's all the? What's all the hype about?"
I think he thought it was good.
Oh, okay.
I've given him a lot of food first. Like I gave him his first peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh yeah.
And he's a lot. Yeah. So those things are fun, but it was really good. It was nostalgic for me.
David's still not crazy about peanut butter. Like he'll have it in moderation. Is Matt like that now?
I think Matt likes peanut butter. He loves it in desserts.
Okay.
Like peanut butter and chocolate or whatever, but I don't think he ever had another peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He was like, it's good, but he was weirded out by it.
What the,
yeah.
I mean, David will eat, like if I make a chocolate cupcake with chocolate frosting or a chocolate cupcake with vanilla frosting, he'll eat way more of those than he will of chocolate peanut butter cupcakes.
I love almond butter, peanut butter. I love those things. So.
I know. We're so American.
Well, what can you do about it? So back to the fest. It seemed like there were a lot of growing pains. This is the first one. Like we said before, I'm going to be kind, but I hope they probably learned a lot from this one.
Yeah.
Because like literally, if there wasn't not like if you didn't like wait for the food and everything, I mean you could have been out of there in half an hour. You could have seen and done everything in half an hour.
My hope is that they move it to a different city next year if they do it again.
I don't think
San Jose is a good...
It wasn't the right wasn't the right venue, I don't think.
Oh, no.
And it didn't have enough food vendors. I mean, the lines... It was great for those two food vendors that were there because they just nonstop, like, had people, like...
But not good for the people who were waiting in line to start.
Oh, yeah. So, and a more of a variety. Like, maybe people don't like soul food or southern food. That's all that was there.
I'm sure that they tried to get more food vendors. San Jose just turned everyone away.
Well...
So
we just know about the Vegan Dots place, but
I'm sure that
that needs to be addressed for sure.
Yeah.
Next year. So wherever it is, go Santa Clara. It's close to
No, there was one in Santa Clara like 15 years ago, and it was big and it was really good, and it was in what is the place that's right across from Great America? Is that like a hotel?
I don't know.
It's like some sort of a convention center that's like attached to a hotel.
Because there's a lot of
and it was
that kind of
filled.
stuff there. Oh, well, we need to bring that back.
Yeah.
So, I was glad it was close, and I'm not, I hope I'm looking forward to the improvements next year. Let's put it that way.
Me too.
Okay.
Hey everybody, it's Ashley here. I'm at the California Summer Veg Fest in San Jose. I'm the first one here out of the group, so I already took a turn around looking at everything. The only two food vendors are Vegan Nation, which we've had on our podcast and are big fans of, and so they're fried vegan. So we're gonna be having both of those today. The vegan Dippin' Dots, not Dippin' Dots. Vegan Dots was supposed to be here, but they pulled out because of a permit issue. And they have some vendors, half of which are pretty much nothing to do with veganism or vegetarianism. So that's kind of disappointing. Like Robin and I discussed on the podcast, this is the first one, so we're going to be kind and hope that it gets better and support it as it grows. So, but we'll see what happens. The Humane League is here. It's a fundraiser for Animal Place, so that's always good, no matter how kind of disappointing a Veg Fest can be. Like if it's for charity, that you can feel good about that. So I'll tell you what we get from for food, and I'll be back. So we're just sitting down with our Southern Fried Vegan. So we got a Philly cheesesteak with, it looks just like tortilla-ish chips on the side, which looks really good and it has coleslaw on it. And we also got a bowl with mac and cheese, fried chicken, and coleslaw. So we've had these before. They're based in LA, and since we can't get them all the time, I decided to get them, even though I definitely will be getting Veganation after second course. So I'm gonna eat all my food now. Bye. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I got from Veganation. So as you probably heard me say a million times in the podcast, I'm a creature of habit. So I got the fried chicken with the garlic fries on the side, which were always as good as they've been every other time I've had them. And I also got to try the funnel cake for the first time, because you don't find vegan funnel cakes just every day. And it was so good, but I was so full I had to like give my little pieces of leftovers to somebody else. But spread the love.
Okay, so we're having a march to close all slaughterhouses. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
PETA, Humane League, Direct Action Everywhere, like major organizations are all coming together, and they're throwing this huge march. It's like an international march, but we're doing one in San Francisco for the first time. So there's going to be hundreds of people there, so you guys should totally come for that. Also, we have, I'm making the most. We have an animal rights center. This is the address.
Okay.
And basically it's like a community space where every Saturday we have meetups. Like, are you guys vegan?
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of vegan people coming in, like talking about community, how important it is to share our struggles and our joys and our excitements. And we have different guest speakers, like really amazing like animal rights activists in the community and in the world come to Berkeley to give talks, which is really great. We have that Animal Rights Center. It's the first in the country, and that's really amazing because like by having that community space and being able to bring all these like-minded people in one room and make them feel like there are other people in this world that are just like you, that care about animals just like you, it's amazing. It's so powerful. Like seeing a room full of vegan activists, it's like, whoa, like I thought I was all by myself, you know? So like immediately imagine like if there was like 100 or 200 or 1,000 of us, how much we could do, you know? So that's kind of like community building. And then Direct Action Everywhere is like a grassroots organization, which is like trying to mobilize activists. So Direct Action Everywhere, we call it DXC for short. We believe that being vegan is not enough. Like we can all go vegan and that's great, but not only should you not use animals and exploit animals, you should actively speak out against the exploitation of animals. So an example of this is if you see someone hitting a dog with a stick, right? So if that guy's hitting a dog with a stick and he's like, hey, you want to hit the dog, and gives you the stick, if you say no, that's like veganism, where you're like, no, I don't want to participate in the like tortures of animals. But that's all that is. He's still hitting the stick, hitting the dog with a stick. But if you become an activist and you actively speak out against this cruelty and you're like, hey, you shouldn't be hitting this dog, or if you go as so far as to take the stick from him, if you hit him, just kidding, non-violence is very important. If you like take the stick from him, then that's what activism is. That's how you stop the violence, you know? The second thing we do is virtual reality. Have you seen that?
Yeah, we haven't done it, but we saw it.
Yeah, so that is, do you guys know about Open Rescue? Okay, so another big thing that we do as a part of Direct Action Everywhere is called Open Rescue, and this is one of like the biggest risk and probably the most impactful things that we do, other than like protests and disruptions and all that kind of stuff. Open Rescue is basically where in the middle of the night we go into farms that obviously uninvited and unannounced, and we go inside these farms and we document how animals are being treated in these facilities. We try to go to facilities that are like humane, cage-free, ethical, you know, like all that bullshit. And we show to people like there's nothing humane about this, right? Like even though it's cage-free, these animals are suffering, if not worse than like battery cages. There's like a huge poster up there. You guys can see there's a picture of that. So anyways, we go inside, we document the conditions of these farms, and then more importantly, we try to rescue a few individuals. So we try to rescue, obviously we can't rescue them all, we wish we could, but we rescue like 3, 4, 5 individuals. We've been inside chicken farms, egg farms, pork farms, and here's like a picture of Lily, who we rescued recently, and then Ava. They're all living in sanctuaries now. We take them to the vet. We get them the veterinary care they deserve. Oftentimes, these animals are so sick and injured that a lot of them don't even survive. They survive one night, and then that's it. And which just shows how like cruelly they're treated, you know? Like even though we give them all the medicine and the love that they need, they still can't survive because it's just that brutal. So recently, a virtual reality company like came and found us, and they were like, yo, we want to be a part of like open rescue. So we took them with us to a farm, 2 farms actually, and they brought their little fancy like geeky like little camera, and it has like 16 cameras all around, and it's like a little stick, and they like brought it inside the farm with them, and we made 2 like virtual reality videos. We're basically like, it's like 360. Did you guys watch it? Yeah.
Where was that? Like specifically?
Where was it?
6 months ago? Was it like a year ago?
When? It was recently, right? Do you know when the chicken farm?
Operation Aspen?
Yeah.
It was last year, this year.
Last year. It's very recent. Yeah, it's recent. Yeah, and then the pig one is so recent that we haven't even like released the like investigation yet. Like next week we're gonna be releasing it, which is really cool. Like we haven't even told any details about that, which is I don't even.
So Ashley and I have been very busy planning with some friends, Kimmy, that you guys might remember from episode 11, and Lizzie, another friend of the pod, and we've been organizing what I hope is going to be a successful fundraiser, but it is in the form of a bake sale and yard sale at the Vegan Dollhouse, and we're going to be getting rid of things that are taking up space in our lives to declutter.
Just make a sign, like, buy some junk and buy some treats.
What is the chick who wrote the book that made everybody get rid of everything they owned?
Oh, yeah, like I can see the cover.
We Maried our
the
homes.
secret, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I read that and I was like, I know all this, and I didn't even finish it. I was like, this is already how
You already do that?
how I roll.
You already own things that bring you love? Is that what it is?
It's like,
You're like, bring you...
Well, I don't, like, talk to my items, but how she kind of, like, says you should do.
Oh,
but, like,
really?
I
didn't know she said
like, if you want to get rid of something, you're supposed to be like, thank you for, like, providing me with
thank you
X, whatever.
for the
like,
years
for the
we've
warmth,
had together.
or if it's a sweater, or for this or that, and then you can let it go.
So weird.
Or if it's something that you love and you, whatever. I don't do that, but I already, all the practical steps that she tells you to take, I already do. So I was like, I don't need to read this.
Okay.
But yes.
So, bring you joy. That's what she says. Everything you own should bring you joy.
Yeah.
So all the things that don't bring us joy, we're hoping that we can find some other people who want to have some joy from them. And
they can feel good about buying them.
Yeah.
Because it's for a good cause.
In addition, we're going to have refreshments, all vegan, of course. And so if you live in the South Bay area, get in touch with us and we'll tell you where to come. It's on August 13th.
It's going to be from, 9 to noon? Or 8 to noon?
8 to noon.
8 to
I
noon.
Wanted 9 to noon, and one of you talked me out of it.
Lizzie, I seconded Lizzie. Lizzie did say that was, yeah. Garage sale people don't mess around. Okay?
Lizzie seems
the
like
serious
she
people
knows what's
don't
going
mess
on.
around.
She's like ready to take pictures and make a really nice Craigslist ad. I'm like, okay.
Go crazy, Lizzie.
I know. I love it. And what else is going on? Oh, I heard today that Daya got bought out
that.
by... Who bought them?
Are they some pharmaceutical company or something?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's correct. I have not looked into this. I just did see that.
Do you think that'll affect your purchasing decisions?
Mine?
Yeah.
No. Because this is the same conversation we've had over and over.
Do you buy
I feel
Daya?
like not regularly, but yeah. If I need, I usually buy chow, like cheese, like for things. That's what I buy like every week. But if I need something melty or something that I first go to chow, but Daya is not off the radar.
What's great about Daya is that it like totally stepped up every pizza restaurant in America.
Daya is everywhere in restaurants now.
So
I mean, this is the same conversation we've had about any company that is being bought or provides within their own parent company a vegan option. I mean, I don't prefer it, obviously, but I don't, at this point, without knowing a lot more, and I would say it's not going to affect me right now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think I really buy it.
I don't buy it
anymore.
a lot, but
I do appreciate it when restaurants use it.
yeah.
Because it's nice to have that option of not having just a cheeseless pizza.
I mean, we're going to get this more and more. We're going to be getting this more and more. And we can't, I feel like I can't abandon every brand or every vegan item that I like because it's getting bought out. Like, these worlds are going to keep merging.
Yeah, but I feel like something new is always going to sprout up in its place.
Yeah.
You know?
That's also, yeah.
Speaking of new, have you tried or have you seen the smoked mozzarella from Miyoko?
No, but I saw you put a thing up on it. But
I haven't tried it yet. But
I don't really buy that kind of stuff. Matt will buy it occasionally.
You don't make pizza at home?
No. I wouldn't.
It's
I
in my
wouldn't,
regular
not against
rotation.
it, but I'm not like, oh, I'm not doing that. I just haven't.
You just don't. It's not in your regular rotation.
No, but I should
meals.
try it because I'm trying to do new stuff.
Yeah, especially if you buy the dough already made.
Oh, definitely
It
have to do that.
really cuts down on time.
I'm not prepared to go that route yet.
Do you have a KitchenAid?
No.
Yeah, if I didn't have a KitchenAid, I wouldn't want to make my own dough.
No.
It's a pain. Kneading dough is not fun.
While I want to get more into cooking, that's why like everything I make is off the Minimalist Baker because it's like it's like 10 items or less or something like usually she tries to shoot for that. Like it's just like not a ton of ingredients and not a ton of time. I'll go to some of these recipes and it's like, oh, make this, whatever, 3 hours. 3 hours? I'm in bed by 3 hours. Like, I don't got time, like, to make dinner. And then eat it and do everything else I gotta do. No, I'm sorry. So, I don't, like, if I can make it easier on myself, like, buying the dough pre-made, that I would do that.
Are you gonna make something for the bake sale from the Minimalist Baker?
Probably, yeah, probably. Or she has a lot of good stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see it.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm gonna make though.
If you want to get together and bake, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time for Ask Ashley.
That's me.
So what's going on with the animals?
Okay, so our first story, let me see, that's good. That's very bad. And that's bad for people that eat meat. Okay. So our first story is the headline is Federal Judge Strikes Down Utah's Ag-Gag Laws Unconstitutional. So I believe that we talked about this when it was passed or it was going to be accepted or not. So an ag-gag law, we've talked about the definition of this, but quickly I'll just reiterate what it is. An ag-gag law is basically something that goes into effect that protects slaughterhouses. So, for instance, if I am an undercover investigator for, compassion over killing or mercy for animals, for animal cruelty or worker safety, any of those things, if I somehow record it, take pictures, audio recordings, video recording, whatever, this law means I cannot report this to the police. I mean, I can, but I'll go to jail. You know what I mean? So that's what these laws do. So it protects all these illegal activities within the countries or the state. In this instance, slaughterhouses. Thankfully, this isn't a federal thing. So, but luckily, so the kind of argument against these is that it violates the First Amendment, free speech. Mm-hmm. So that is kind of what everyone that goes to help, like, kind of appeal these, that's what they go on. Like, First Amendment, it violates First Amendment, plain and simple. So this month, Utah's ag law was struck down as unconstitutional because the judge says that it does violate the First Amendment. Mm. So that's really good because Utah is a huge agricultural state and it has a lot of animal agriculture. So this will open up the doors for a lot of the violations that are happen everywhere to get out, and those people can be held accountable. So that's good. The Utah Animal Rights Coalition was really like active in like getting this all to come back to appeal, and they said, of course, they see it as a victory for animals and for the First Amendment. Because even if you don't care about animals, you should be able to carry your right to report illegal activity. Like I said, it's not just about the animal welfare aspect. There's worker rights that are constantly violated in slaughterhouses. So that's also, if you feel you have the right to go to the police and then report illegal activity, then you should care about this. And because this is kind of setting a precedent, they're saying that these unconstitutional laws will fall like dominoes, so that the ag laws are flagrant attempts to hide animal cruelty from the American people, and they unfairly target activists trying to serve the public's interest. So it does turn activists into criminals. Mm-hmm. So let's see. The spokesman for the Utah Attorney General's office is saying that they're considering their options. So they may try to appeal it again. Hopefully that doesn't go anywhere. But at this moment, it's overturned. And someone that was kind of, I don't know if she was at the proceedings, but she was involved because she was a victim of the ag law while it was in law. I don't know if I have her name here. I actually don't. But she was one of the people that was arrested, and I think she was just taking pictures or something. I can't recall. Don't quote me on that. And she was, going to be sentenced under this ag law, and eventually the charges were dropped. But so she was kind of like participating in this because she was a victim of it. And she says, "I was shocked when I was the one charged with a crime instead of the animal's abusers. It should never be a crime to tell the story of an animal who is being abused and killed, even if it's for food. Today's court ruling is a vindication for anyone who stands up for what's right and tells the truth." And as I said, I think that goes for beyond animal rights, if that's something that's not a concern of yours. There's a lot to it. And when laws like this are passed to things, quote, things like animals, and it's acceptable, then it just keeps going, right? If you don't care about that, think about like the precedent this sets for laws to go into other things, and eventually your First Amendment right is gone, and companies can do whatever they want, and you will be thrown in jail for saying something about it. So this is a slippery slope, and it starts with animals and it goes to humans if that's all you care about. So, but this is a huge win for animals, especially because of the specific state that it's in. Okay, so
because that's a state that's
Utah has it's all farming, okay. So it's a big deal. Now a not so good story for animals. The headline is "Dairy Cow Carcasses Pile Up Following California Heat Wave."
Why do you have to say carcasses?
That's the headline. I gotta say what it is. And it's what it is. And this is like people say like processing plant. No, it's a slaughterhouse. You say what it is, because it should affect you like that. It should make you, So you remember recently we had that heat wave. It was like mid to high 90s for like a week at least, probably. Mm-hmm. It was recent. And this is coming out of Fresno, so it's in our neck of the woods.
Oh yeah, when it's high 90s here, it's probably over 100 in Fresno.
Yeah, so because it's inland, so we're kind of by the water, so we don't get it quite as bad. But it was sweltering here, so I can't imagine. So this is from Central California's largest rendering plant, aka slaughterhouse.
They call them rendering plants?
Processing plant, rendering plant.
Ew.
That's a lot of it. No, call it what it is.
I know.
So a ton of it says they don't even know how many animals died at this point.
Because of the heat?
Because of the heat. And they don't know because there's so many. They haven't even been able to get a number.
Oh my God.
So these animals are outside, obviously. I mean, they have some shade because you've seen on driving down I-5 to LA. You can see that
there's not enough shade for all of them.
Oh no. I mean, it's like this is like the Titanic lifeboat situation. Some of you may get in shade or get in a lifeboat, but the majority of you are there's just not enough, and that's just it.
Oh my God.
So, and of course with the shade, as soon as the sun moves constantly, so the shade changes, and you get to a point of it where there is no shade. If it gets when it gets to a certain time of day or morning. So they don't know how many of these animals just died from heat-related heat stroke. I don't know at this point. So I remember this struck me because I remember months ago, we talked about, not in California, but I think an East Coast state, they had the flooding.
Right? Oh, yeah.
We've done it a couple times.
Yeah,
I think
because
there was a flooding and there was a
too.
snow one.
Oh, that's
yeah,
so
I think this might be the third
sad.
one. So it's like all these different weather conditions. And the thing is, like, these places are so insanely...
They're overpopulated.
So many animals. When these kind of things happen, they just can't do anything about it because they just don't have the facilities to keep these animals alive. And, I mean, they care for the wrong reasons, right? That to keep them alive. We're going to keep them alive. Because if an animal dies of a heat stroke on a thing, legally, you can't sell them for meat, even though, you know, it's not the first time it's happened, you know? But, you can't prove it didn't die from a slaughter, you know, being physically slaughtered. But, so this is just another thing where, like, these processes are not only not sustainable environmentally, but, like, you just can't control the population.
I have a question.
Of animals. Okay.
Why is it... So I recently went to Golandia, and she was telling me about how, like, she's now at capacity unless she finds homes for some of the animals there, right? And why is it that when you're a farm sanctuary and you're helping animals, that you are on these strict rules about how many animals per square footage you're allowed to have, but places like that can just pack them all in? I don't understand. Why are there rules for some and not for another?
That's a good question. I don't know.
That's so not fair.
They're probably, I mean, they get government subsidies. I'm sure there's other loopholes that they get because they're in the government. The government's in their pocket. So I'm sure that plays a part.
I know. It's not like anybody's monitoring. You're like, no one will ever know. Like, a bunch of animals die and no one's reprimanded. No one really knows. Like,
no, you don't know. And that's why that's the whole reason these when they have an ag bill, they're like, we're set. Because even if somebody does see something, are they really going to go into prison? Are they going to go to prison for this? No. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, these kind of tie together, actually. The first two stories. So the point, what this is actually talking about is that they just don't have anywhere to put the bodies.
Yeah. And
they can't hide this because there's just so many. Like I said, they don't even know how many are dead yet. And it did say here that it was the heat wave included 9 straight days of triple-digit temperatures.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot.
So, and it's all day outside and, like, so...
and I guess it wouldn't help if there were, like, sprinklers or something.
Why would they do that? You know what I mean? To, like, give them relief? They don't care about that. You know
they
what I mean?
should.
Of course they should.
I mean,
but
it affects their bottom line.
Yeah, exactly.
I know all those farms out there that are growing food have all those big sprinklers. So they must be able to have them for the cows, too.
Well, they could, but they're not going to do that. It's the risk of this happening occasionally is weighed against. Like,
I wish that
putting that cost out.
I want all the humans that are the owners of the land to stand out there for 9 days in the heat.
Yeah. Chasing some shade with, like, hundreds of other people.
Yes. Yeah, that would be wonderful.
So it's sad, and this is just another example of how these places are not sustainable and they can't do anything, even if they wanted to, because it's out of control. Even if they wanted to do something, like you said, because it affects their bottom line, not because they really care. So that's sad. So don't eat cows, and then there won't be so many there. So our third story is good if you're vegan. The headline is red meat linked to increased risk of death from 9 diseases. So this is from research from the British Medical Journal that shows that meat eaters shorten their lives with 9 different diseases associated with eating processed and unprocessed red meat. Okay, like the cat's out of the bag on red meat. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's starting now to be more like other meats and meat in general, but like red meat, I mean, come on, everybody knows that by now. But this is kind of reiterating that and adding a little bit more information. It says that the diseases are due to in part to excess iron consumption and to the nitrates that are found in processed meats, which, you know, that blew up last year.
Oh yeah,
about
the bacon thing.
The bacon and processed bacon and sausage. And And it said that people usually think like, oh, iron, you need iron, which is true. Like, but there's excess amounts of iron, which can negatively affect a lot of your organs. So it's like you can have too much of a good thing. You know what I mean?
I thought that with vitamins, your body just takes what it needs and doesn't.
Some.
Like you can't. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
because vitamin C is like that, right?
Vitamin C, you just like pee out what you don't need. For that, that's why you should you can eat it daily.
Right.
But like B12, it's stored. So some are stored, some yeah.
Okay.
Your body's funny like that. Okay. Some of them is stored and some of them are not.
My body's funny in so many ways.
Yeah, it's funny things. That's why they say like what happened to me when I was an uneducated, badly eating vegetarian, that you can stop eating meat, and if you are eating really badly and all that, you could be years before you have any B12 issues. Yeah. And it was almost 3 years exactly that I started having B12 issues.
Oh, really? You did start having B12 issues?
Yeah.
How did you know?
I had to get my blood work done because something was wrong.
Like, how did you know? What were your symptoms?
I felt really lethargic. My aunt said it sounded like my thyroid was going funky. I was like tired all the time. I can't really remember now. Like the fatigue is what. I mean, this was so long ago now.
And you were young, so you shouldn't have been tired all the time.
No, I just didn't do my research that I should have done when I went vegetarian. I just did it, and I was just eating French fries and like fried food. Like I was eating like shit, and eventually it just caught up with me. So B12
you got your blood work done, and
I was like, something's wrong, and like my aunt says, I think it's your thyroid, because it was very similar to her symptoms that she had previously with her thyroid, and they said it was a B12 deficiency. And I started taking B12, and I was like, wing! Like 2 weeks later, I was like perfectly fine.
You were like, it's like cocaine.
Yeah. So, but it took years for that to happen. So anyway, and this study was from a huge body of subjects, like 500,000 members of the American Association of Retired Persons aged 50 to 71. And they followed up 16-year follow-up data until 2011. So it's like, older people, and they've been eating a certain way their whole lives, so that's why they're looking at them.
Wait, do we get to know what the diseases are? Or is it going to be a surprise?
It kind of tells you the end. It said, so for those people, it said the increased mortality because of processed red meat was influenced by nitrate intake and to a lesser degree iron. So the nitrates were the real culprit, even though the iron does contribute to the damage to your organs in too high of quantity. So it says like the adverse effects of red meat affect all your organs with conditions that range from heart disease, stroke, diabetes, cancer, liver, kidney, and respiratory diseases, dementia, and infections. That's all the things that it can contribute to.
What am I going to blame my dementia
covers
on?
It. What is left? Like what? like yeah, you're gonna have to start eating meat. Be like, oh, that's why I didn't forget. That's why I forgot that.
I need a scapegoat for my dementia.
There's a lot of dementia in my family, I'm starting to discover. So I'm not going to have me anytime soon for that and many other reasons. But so that's pretty, reiterating that what people should already know. But I found it was just another study that brought all that forward. So that's what's going on. So a lot of good news, a lot of stinky news, and that's usually the way it is. Right. So Robin, what's been going on at the dollhouse?
So we haven't recorded in a while, so there's been a lot going on. One of the things was rainbow bagels. Did you have rainbow bagels when you were in New York?
No, that was so long ago. I wasn't even, I was vegetarian, but I wasn't looking for any cool places to eat. You know what I mean? Yeah, it'd be a totally different experience now, so no.
Yeah. What were you looking for back then?
I remember going to, was it Smack and Cheese or something like that?
So you were into going to cool places to eat, just not vegan places.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt was not a vegetarian or vegan. But that's the only cool place I remember eating, because they served it to you in a skillet, and it was all these crazy. I had like pizza mac and cheese or whatever, and it was like because they had like mac and cheese is pretty.
Wait, have we had a mac and cheese party?
No.
Oh, we should.
You should. I'm not gonna argue with that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's our next
Put
idea.
that on the list. Yeah.
Yes.
So, no, I didn't. I've actually never had one, period.
Okay.
So I need to get on that because I'm embarrassed.
Well, I did have a rainbow bagel in New York, and they don't actually taste all that good. And I don't know if it's because they have to use so much food coloring to make it that bright, because I used a lot of food coloring. However, I used all natural food coloring, and they looked so beautiful when I was making them. And for anybody who wants to see more of it, it's on my website at vegandollhouse.com. But they looked beautiful like Play-Doh when you were making them. But so the way that I do bagels is you do the dough, then you do boiling, then you do baking. So it's like a two-process cooking. After boiling, they were much more muted in color, but still pretty. And after baking, it was like almost non-existent.
Oh, what
like they were so
kick
light.
in the pants.
I know. And it took me like all day to make these, by the way. So I think I can totally understand why they would want to use the chemical food coloring. And if I made it again, I would have to use the chemical food coloring.
To get the brightness.
Yeah, but they didn't taste good, and I'm scared that if I use the chemical stuff, that it's not going to taste good. I don't know why they didn't taste good in New York, but I was like determined, not destined, maybe also destined. But I was like determined to come home and make them taste good, like good tasting.
Well, yeah,
bagels.
You'd want them to taste good, wouldn't you?
So these ones tasted good, but they ended up being very pastel and muted.
That's okay. Pastel's your thing, so it was just like...
Yeah. But you know, like when you bake things, they get a little browned, I guess. So it's kind of like adding brown to colors.
Apparently I don't, because I haven't cooked things through. I have to leave them in for like 45 minutes longer than they're supposed to, and then it's cooked. So I don't know what you're talking about.
This is all the more reason we should bake together. At somebody else's house that has a nice kitchen. Okay, so we did rainbow bagels. We went to Vegan Picnic. Did you go to Vegan Picnic?
No, but I have heard of it.
Okay. And is it on your list?
If I'm up there.
Okay. It is a little bit out of the way.
Yeah.
So for anybody who visits San Francisco frequently, Vegan Picnic is like more on the North Beach side of San Francisco, which is like not the area of San Francisco we usually go to when we go. We tend to like stick to like Mission, Soma area, just because there's so many vegan places in those areas.
That's where it's at.
And it's kind of like where all the fun stuff is. So Vegan Picnic's a little bit off the beaten path. But if you're going to San Francisco as a tourist, then you would be in that area, because people like to go to Fisherman's Wharf and the Penny Museum and all the stuff that's all the way over there by the water, and Golden Gate Bridge, and whatever the touristy things are, you're going to be passing Vegan Picnic. And it's a takeout place for sure, which I kind of get the name now, because you pick it up and then you go picnic, which I think is cute. But it has a single table that seats 2 people and has a little baby counter. But it's mostly for takeout. The good thing about it is it has donuts, vegan donuts, and it also has a lot of mock meats that I have not seen in other places, like salami. I haven't seen salami anywhere, I don't think. Not even at Butcher's Son.
Yeah, I was never a salami person anyway, so I guess I haven't. If I saw it, I wouldn't have even thought twice about it. I'd be like, meh.
Oh, really?
It wouldn't be like on my radar, really.
I was very much a salami person. I liked salami a lot. Even though when I think about it now, it's like totally disgusting. It's like mashed up every part of the animal.
We all have those. I hate Spam as a child, okay? So
yeah, I'm
we all
sure
have those.
That too. Anyway, so I do recommend going to Vegan Picnic. I thought it was delicious. And the third thing was your birthday cake, which we started talking about like 6 months ago on your actual birthday.
It happened, folks.
And for anyone who doesn't listen to the other episodes, if this is your first episode, we basically, how was it born? Did I ask what your...
I don't know if
Oh, we were talking about banana splits.
Was it the banana split at Happiness Cafe?
So. Happiness Cafe, yeah.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
Oh my god, that was long ago.
So we have like a dessert cafe. It's super cute in the South Bay, and we go there for ice cream usually. They have food too, but
you don't go there for the food.
They have really good ice cream treats and like boba and stuff like that. And they have a banana split that's like the perfect banana split with everything you could want. And somehow we were talking about that and decided I would create a banana split cake.
Yeah.
But it was going to be ice cream cake.
Yeah.
But it took me 6 months to actually do it, which was perfect because it fell right
It's
on
in
Ashley's
summer.
half birthday.
Yeah, and it's summertime. It's more appropriate than in January.
It is way more appropriate. So the ice cream cake took me over a week to make because all
outrageous.
of the ice cream flavors were made from scratch. And so there was like a cookie dough ice cream and a Moose Tracks ice cream, which I don't even think I've ever seen Moose Tracks in a store. I think it might be a Midwest thing. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know of it. I'm just trying to think if I've seen it out here or not. I think I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
So I didn't know really what it was. I did some research. It has a cute name, and that's what I was going with. And it's a vanilla ice cream with fudge swirl and peanut butter cups.
Ooh.
So I made the peanut butter cups into Hello Kitty shapes, which you couldn't even tell.
They were like hidden Mickeys.
Yeah.
Oh, you Disneyites out there.
Yeah. And so the recipe for that is on the website. The recipe for both of the ice creams is on there, and the recipe for putting the cake together, which involves making cookies, making a cookie crust, making hot fudge, which actually you should not do because it oozed out the sides. So I modified the recipe to a penguin coat, which is like magic shell. So I recommend doing that instead. And whipped cream and cherries.
It was so good. I'm like, wish I had it again. Right now.
It was very decadent. We had to share.
Oh my God. It was so good. I can't even take it. I have flashbacks in the best way possible. It was funny because like we took a piece home because it was an enormous cake. I was surprised
really
how big it was, and everybody like had their fill, and I was like, I want more. Take it home. And so like that was on a Saturday. You're gonna hate this. On the Sunday, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have it when I'm watching Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
And it was the premiere, and I was eating it. I was enjoying so people that watch the show probably knows where I'm going with this. You don't watch Game of Thrones, do you? Okay. So I'm eating it, chocolate ice cream with chocolate this and everything. I'm just having a great time. And then Sam Tarley's montage at the Citadel comes up. And it's basically a poop/food montage, back and forth. Poop, food, poop, food, poop, food. He has to empty out. He's like a pleb at this place. I'm not going to get into. Like a intern. Okay. A low person or whatever. He has to empty bedpans and stuff, and he has to serve food. So like they have this weird montage about time moving and him doing both these things, and he's trying not to vomit, and it's super gross. It goes on forever. The sound effects are horrible. I mean, there's shit everywhere.
This?
And I'm like,
why do you
eating
watch
my cake?
This?
I didn't know this would happen.
But everyone loves this show.
Oh, I do, but that wasn't a low point.
Okay,
let's put that way.
right.
I don't know what they were thinking with that. Like. And even if they felt like they had to do it, I don't know why I had to go on for so long.
I know,
it went on
awful.
for a long time.
It's like torture.
And even when looking away, the sound, the sound's horrible. And I'm just like, my cake! Because it was like
and you have quite the entertainment system at your house, too. So it's probably like in surround sound.
It was traumatizing. But I was like, waited 5 minutes after and then I was like, okay. And I ate my cake. But it was... I was like, why are you trying to ruin my cake, Sam Tarley? I wasn't happy with him, but yeah, that was the last of it. That's gone.
Yeah, but we can make it again. Just another week, no problem.
And I learned my lesson, no watching it during Game of Thrones.
Yeah, no eating during Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That's the new rule for everyone. Well, speaking of eating and gross things happening, I went to Hell Vegan Eats and the dish...
I just read your note and gasped.
The dish that was ordered... I didn't
know this was coming up.
...was a mac and cheese, but it was the one that's... it's like chicken pot pie mac and cheese.
Oh, that sounds good.
It was so fucking good.
I don't want to
For the first half.
I feel like reserved in being like, oh my God, I want it because I know what's coming.
And I found the longest hair in it, and it just kept
Oh, best stop. Not many things gross me out, but hair really does. Like even in like a public pool, if I see people's hair floating around, I'm like, ugh. And I find my own hair in my own food all the time. Yeah. My hair I'm like, whatever.
My own hair doesn't gross me out.
No, whatever. It's my hair. I know it's clean. I know whatever. It's mine. I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would.
I mean, their food's not cheap. It's like $15 for a bowl of mac and cheese, and then
that's
and then you don't want to eat the second half.
So what did you do? Did you tell them?
No, I didn't tell them. I should have probably.
I would have been like, hey, look, no,
you need to wear hairnets.
Freaking. I'm not gonna make a huge deal, but can I just have another one because I want to finish my food. You know?
Yeah. Oh no, but you know their food takes forever. Have you eaten it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a while.
It does take a long time.
Like by the time you get it, you don't want to wait again.
I know.
For that long. Anyway.
I would have. I would take it home and had it later, but.
So I went back with Tina last night and I couldn't get any food because I'm like still wounded.
You need more time.
I need more time in between.
I know, I get it. That's not cool.
Which is so unfortunate because that mac and cheese was so good.
Oh, maybe one day you can come back to it.
Yeah. Also, don't people wear things over their hair when you work in the food industry? Is that not required?
I don't know, because I have seen like places like where they don't do it, and I'm like, isn't that like a health inspection thing? Like where you have to like, I don't know if there's a difference between, you never see people with your hair down.
Okay.
Always their hair is back, and I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah.
Like like you have to have your hair back, like pulled back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah.
Because at
throw a net on there.
At the South Bay Vegan Fest thing, I noticed everyone at Vegan Nation was wearing hair things over their hair.
Yeah.
What about
that could just be a
Southern Fried
personal? Vegan? I don't think so. I didn't pay attention. That could just be like they want to make sure there's no hair in the food. Yeah, exactly. It may not be forced upon people. Yeah. I have wondered that too, because you don't always see people wearing hair nets.
Yeah, I wish that was a rule.
And you can see into the kitchen in Hella Vegan Eats, so I don't see.
Yeah,
I don't think
they definitely weren't wearing.
Yeah. I think you have to have your hair back, like pulled back, but I actually don't know. That's a good question.
I'm a shedder. Like I'll leave hair everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
So I would not be able to work in the food industry unless I wore a little cap.
People were really into it, like it's like a box in a surprise in a cereal box or something.
Yeah.
Then like hire me. I'm a person for you.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
Not a great prize.
Okay. Well, we'll get off of the gross stuff.
I know, okay, only good things now. So, Trang had a tea party in the South Bay, which was so cute. She grows all of these edible flowers. She must grow probably 10 varieties of edible flowers.
What happened to this edible flower thing you were going to grow?
I haven't been growing them.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I posted a picture.
Okay. And this was a long time ago you were talking about on the podcast, actually.
Well, I am growing them from seed. And you would be surprised at how long it takes for them. But I just got a bloom. I'm going to show you a picture for those of you at home if you want to look at the picture along with us. It is on my Instagram at Vegan Dollhouse. And so the picture is of chicken and waffles.
Oh.
And all the flowers
I saw that picture, but I didn't even think about that Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So I have a few. It's just not that many. I don't have a huge garden. Trang has a huge garden. And it's so funny because she was like, this is my little baby garden. And I was like, oh, okay. We are not allowed to call this a little baby garden because I have things growing out of buckets on my patio. And so she has real garden beds. Her backyard's beautiful. And all the food she made, incorporated flowers. There was lavender chocolate chip cookies. There was hibiscus biscotti, everything had and it was so good, and everything was plated beautifully, and she made tea sandwiches that were super cute and circles rolled in chives the way they do at Muir's.
Yeah.
And it was really it was just very pleasant. It was really pleasant. Also because I didn't have to prepare all the food. I didn't have to prepare any food, which helps a lot.
Jeez, you had me.
I know, it's very unusual for me. But there's pictures of that on my Instagram. And what else did I want to say about that? Oh, I sat across from a woman who made a vegan app. And it's kind of like Yelp or Happy Cow. But she's logging all of the vegan places. So I should tell you about it if you want to put it on your phone. I downloaded it and I've been uploading pictures to it when I go to restaurants.
So it's crowdsourced app?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Totally. So I'll have to, maybe I should just say it on the podcast in case anybody wants to download it. I've uploaded some pictures to it, but I haven't gone through the process of actually adding a new place. So I can't speak to how easy that is, but when you upload a picture, a little animal picture comes up and thanks you. Like a baby goat.
Oh, that's cute.
And it says thank you. It's so cute. Anyway, here it is.
And it's vegan only.
It's vegan only, but it doesn't just have to be vegan places. It can be any restaurant as long as...
A vegan option.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's called Go Vegan, but there's no A.
Okay.
All one word.
We should get her on the podcast.
I think that's a great idea. I'll ask her.
Yeah.
So let's see what else. I made rainbow sushi this week for my date with Tina yesterday because I was trying to make food that matched the hair that I wanted.
see that. I saw that. I was like, look at Robin's hair.
So I dyed the rice. So I've been experimenting with this stuff called butterfly pea flower powder. Which is like some kind of flour that people use to make tea, but it's blue. And so I've been experimenting with it. I tried to make a raw cheesecake with it, and that didn't really come out very good, I didn't think. But the rice for the sushi came out really pretty. And I also used some sauerkraut water to make pink, and then I used bamboo rice, so it was automatically green. Because bamboo rice is already green.
Didn't know it.
And so, yeah, so rainbow sushi's cute and fun. And I went to 2 new ice cream places. I did curbside. Have you gone there?
No, but I've heard of it. Where is it?
So it used to be only a cart in the East Bay.
I think I follow them on Instagram, but
Okay,
don't.
probably.
Yeah.
So their logo's cute, which you would like. Like, their colors are really cute. And they just opened a brick and mortar recently on Temescal Alley. And so I went there, and they have 2 soft serve flavors, but only one of them is vegan. So you can't get a swirl, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But the vegan one was chocolate mint, and it was really good.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
So you kind of got a swirl. Chocolate and mint.
But if it was chocolate and mint swirled, it would be so much prettier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Flavor-wise, you
Yes.
kind of got that.
Yeah, I did. It was delicious. And then I also went to Garden Creamery this month, which is the one in the Mission. Also not all vegan, but they have about 6 to 8 vegan flavors.
Oh, that's good.
It's
good
good,
amount.
except like over half of them are fruit flavors. And I'm like, why bother? You know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Don't put fruit in my dessert.
I'd be okay with that. So.
Yeah, all right. Well, they had some really pretty ones. But unfortunately, the one that I really wanted was the silver one, and it was not vegan.
Silver?
It's like black sesame.
Oh, okay.
Or it's like gray, I guess.
Yeah.
More gray than silver, probably. So yeah, and then that's it. Oh, I did make some cute sausage pinwheels for 4th of July, and that is on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, those are cute.
And I think that's it. What have you been up to in the eating world or in the cooking world?
I haven't made anything because I've been busy. And I did go to DC, though.
Okay.
So I ate a lot there. So this will all be on my vlog whenever I get my ass in gear and get it on there. But I went to Sticky Fingers, which I know you had interaction with. You'd never been there, but you ordered from there for somebody. That was the first thing we did, and it was really good. Like, you would have really liked their decor, because they had I loved it. I was like, it's like all retro. They had like old, like 50s, like the beautiful fridges, and they didn't have the doors on them, but that's where they kept like merchandise, like other vegan like bars or like Primal, like the jerky. They had different things like that as well, and they had it set into this old fridge. They had another fridge that was open. I can't remember what was in it, but they had old mixers kind of laid around, like, strewn about. So it was very cool.
And do they have seating?
Yeah, they do. They have, for a vegan place, they have a lot of seating. Because, sometimes it's like that one table.
And they're all vegan?
All vegan. So they're a bakery, but they do have like a full food menu as well.
Okay.
So let me look at my phone and remember what I got.
How many flavors of cupcakes do they have?
Oh boy,
on an average day.
Well, I'll tell you what I had. I took a picture of like the whole case.
Oh, okay.
So I'll try to do a rough estimate here.
How frequently do you go through your phone and delete pictures?
Not as often as I should. That's for sure.
I mean, do you ever get to where you're maxed out on space and you have to take them off?
I think maybe a few times. Okay, this is why I couldn't remember, because one didn't have it. It had the front on. That's why I was like, I can't remember the other one.
That's cute.
It set up.
That's a good color. Mint green.
So as far as what they offered in the bakery, they had like full cakes, small cakes, but like, like maybe like for like, does it say how many inches?
Like vegan treats?
6 inch cakes, full cakes. They had maybe 5 or 6 different cookies. They had strawberry lemonade whoopie pies, which I got one of those, and I really liked that.
I like strawberry lemonade.
The cupcakes that they had was orange creamsicle, watermelon, root beer float, chocolate love, classic vanilla cupcake, wheat-free mint, wheat-free chocolate, wheat-free something I can't read, sorry, peanut butter fudge, red velvet, cookies and cake, and then they had silly bones, whatever that is. They had brownies, and then they had little devils, which was basically what's this? I can't remember, and I'm blanking. The little swirly cream on top.
Oh yeah,
with
the
chocolate.
Hostess.
It wasn't one of those, but it was like they made a cake like that, and then like slice it up, and then
And it had the cream in the middle.
yeah, it had the cream in the middle. It was very good. So we tried. I took a lot. So over the couple days, I took a lot home, and every night I'd come home from wherever we ate dinner and like have some. So I had the root beer float one, which is very good. The orange creamsicle was very good. Everything was super good. So I'm just gonna stop saying that it was good. But we did a little devil. We did a cookies and cake. I think that's all.
Did it have crushed cookies in the cake part?
It had the cookie on top, and then it had some of the cookie in the frosting.
Oh, but not in the batter?
I don't think so. I think it was just chocolate. And then like I said, I had the strawberry lemonade whoopie pie, which was so good. I loved that. I just loved the flavor of it.
That seems like it would be a good breakfast.
Yes. It was good, whatever. I don't care. Just give it to me. I'll eat it. So that's what we had for like, dessert. I ate them throughout the time we were there. And then I also had the quesadilla, the mac and cheese, and then we had something called the California burger.
What kind of cheese did they use?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I didn't ask. And then we also got the Reuben. So like because we was splitting everything.
Yeah.
The quesadilla was really good. The mac and cheese was very good. But nothing, we have high standards for mac and cheese, I think. It was fine. It was good. The California burger was the least good thing, but the Reuben was amazing. So it was like tempeh, and then it had like all the regular Reuben things that comes on, and it was really good.
I like tempeh Reubens. They have one in Palm Springs that I like.
Well, I had 2 because I'll explain. They're kind of by the same. Sticky Fingers. So Sticky Fingers and Farewell are owned by the same person. So it's like Sticky Fingers is more bakery, geared towards the bakery side, but they have food, and then Farewell is geared towards the food side, but they carry all the Sticky Fingers desserts. Well, not all of them. They don't have as many, but they have way more food. So it's kind of like they've taken both sides. Mm-hmm. They've done both. So
and they're in different parts of town?
Yeah. So the next thing we went to Farewell, which like I said, is related to Sticky Fingers. And Matt had the seitan and waffles. He had a side of scrambled tofu that he really liked. I had cookie dough, so we split a lot. Cookie dough pancakes, which were less cookie dough. Yeah, that's why I was like, ooh. It was less cookie dough and more like just chocolate chip pancakes. Oh. Which was fine, but I was expecting like cookie dough. You know what I mean? Like they were good. If they were just chocolate chip pancakes, I would have like been like, yeah, these are really good. But I was expecting like some kind of elevated pancake experience.
Right. But when I'm thinking about it, so when you first put your cookie dough in the oven, it first starts to get really melty, and I wonder if that interferes.
I don't know. They were just like literally seemed like chocolate chip pancakes.
Yeah.
Very good, but I was expecting something else.
Yeah.
But the highlight for me was the French toast casserole, which was super good. It was like marbled bread. And then they had like raspberry and stuff on top.
Was it chocolate and vanilla marbled?
I don't even know, honestly. Oh. There was so much going on. I just it was so good. I'm like, it's good. I don't even know. I'm like,
you don't take a bite and examine every flavor profile like I do?
No, I should, because it would probably last a little bit longer, the experience. So we also went to Hip City Veg like 3 times. Matt went without me. I went without him, and then we went twice together. Oh, okay. And it was the best. That was the best food that we had. Their chicken Hip City Ranch, which is basically like their main chicken burger. Yeah. So good. That chicken was the most realistic chicken I've ever had, like vegan chicken. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was like a chicken breast. I mean, it was crazy. Super good bread. I mean, it was just amazing. I got sweet potato fries with it. With like they have sriracha aioli, and that was very good. And then I also got another time we went. I got the Philly cheesesteak, That was amazing. Like, one of the best Philly cheesesteaks I've ever had. So it's like, both things I tried, they were amazing.
Where have you had Philly cheesesteaks at other places?
Well, I had it at Southern Fried Vegan. I've had it. That's one of the things we like.
Have you had
so
it in
had
Philly is what I want to know.
Oh, I've never been there.
Okay.
So I can't compare it to anywhere in Philly. I've never been there. So Hip City Veg, do not miss it if you're in DC. It was so good. And then we also went to New Vegan, which is like a soul food place. So the deal with this place was like, it's a cafeteria style. So you like go in the back into the kitchen and they have like everything out and they have the menu in the back and it's very chaotic and the guys are kind of like abrupt. Like, okay, what do you want? Like you ask for things and they don't have it. So you're not really sure like what's out and what's available or like what they're going to... We asked for something like a chicken sandwich and the guy was like, eh, and we're looking at him like, he just kept doing it. And we're like, what? Like, I'm like, do I need to call an ambulance? Like, are you okay? And he's like, oh yeah, we don't have that. It's gonna be like 40 minutes. And like, we're like, okay, you could have just said that. You didn't have to give us like the buzzer for like 30 seconds. So while we just stared at you.
So weird.
Yeah, it was very bizarre and honestly not too comfortable ordering there. And then like we were like, okay, so we stepped back out of line to like kind of like reassess because it's very chaotic. Then we came back up and we had somebody else and he was much nicer. But I got the mac and cheese, like basically they're like chicken dumpling things or something like that. Cornbread and yams. And we sat down and it was okay. It was a weird environment, to be honest. It wasn't the most comfortable environment, like when you're ordering and stuff. And the cornbread was good. The thing that like I would go back for was the mac and cheese. The mac and cheese was amazing. Like, gonna make my top 5 probably.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I can't tell you anything else about it because I don't know. I just knew it tasted good. It was kind of like, you have a picture here. So it kind of was like chunky.
That looks like potato salad. That's mac and cheese?
Yeah, it's mac and cheese.
Is it hot or cold?
It's hot.
Okay.
Yeah. It was kind of like chunky and like white cheese.
Yeah, that's really strange. It looks like it would be made with blue cheese.
It was so
something.
good.
Huh.
It was really, I was like, okay, this was worth like the weird interaction and like coming all the way out here because it's kind of out of the way.
Okay.
I mean, everything else was good. I didn't try any of their other quote unquote meats, but their meat was like whatever. Like, not impressed really. But I love cornbread, so the cornbread was good. But it was also like, remember when Lizzie made us the cornbread? And it was like Trader Joe's mix. I was like, this is about that. I mean, I can make it. So
I mean, you know that I don't like cornbred, so.
Oh, okay. Well, this was about on par with that. And it was very good, but I'm like, oh, this is like, could be like Trader Joe's, it should be better than Trader Joe's, right? So the mac and cheese there was amazing. No lie. The mac and cheese was amazing. But everything else was left a little bit to be desired. But it's a good option. It's all vegan, so take that for what it's worth. And then 2 places we went that weren't vegan, but we had some stuff. So we went to Baked and Wired, which is a really popular coffee. It's like one of the most popular coffee places in DC. And it was recommended to Matt, so we went. He went several times.
Is it like Phil's where there's like more than one location, or there's just one?
I think there might be just one.
Okay.
And we went, and they have half of it, like there's literally a wall down the middle, and like one side's the coffee and one side's the bakery. So on the bakery side, they had like basically cookies and cream, one vegan cupcake that was cookies and cream, but it was a big cupcake. Okay, it was like 2 cupcakes in one. It was big. So we got those and took it back to the hotel and ate them. And I ate that whole thing and I didn't even slow down. Like, it was a really good cupcake.
Yeah, what is the place in Denver that has the really big cupcakes? I'm so all about those.
I went to a vegan bakery in Denver.
It's just a restaurant that has the cupcake, and they also make those cupcakes for the art museum too.
Okay, I might have been there because I went to a lot of.
You definitely went there. Yeah. It's like the one restaurant that everyone goes when they go to Denver, but I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, look on my blog. I don't know, but I didn't have a cupcake there, obviously. So, but if you think you know the name, it probably is on there.
I love the big cupcakes.
Yes, it was really good. And then we went to Compass Coffee just because we were going to be meeting people for lunch and we had some time. So we went in there and Matt got a coffee. And they had a vegan muffin, blueberry muffin, which was actually really good. It had a good, the top was really good.
I like a muffin top.
Yeah, the top was really good. And then they had a seitan wrap, which was passable. It was good enough. We just had a little snack.
I mean, at least they had it.
Yeah, they had options.
Many coffee places around here that don't have vegan food options.
There was options. So, and we didn't even look that closely. Yeah. So, there probably was other stuff too. We just wanted a little snack before we we had like an hour or so before we met these people and we were hungry. So, those were options and I'm glad to see them. So that's all the stuff I had, and I gained like almost 4 pounds. So I literally weighed myself this morning, and so gonna go easy this week on food.
Well, the Hip City Veg, I haven't ever been to DC, but they have one in Philly also.
Yeah, they have several in Philly.
Okay.
Like 2 at least, more than one.
Okay.
I think there's 3 locations like total. Maybe one's in DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the one that's like by the main library in the downtown area, my friend Melissa used to work at, and so I haven't actually ordered anything off menu because she like custom made me things because she had worked there long enough to like know what things went well together. But I know that the ranch chicken sandwich that you're talking about, I had with like extra stuff on it that she like added.
It's really good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was definitely the best. It's so busy there too. And it didn't hurt that when I went there first time with my manager who's vegan, we went because I was there for a work thing, and then a vacation after. We walked down there together, and the girl was like I was talking to the woman who was, at the register, and she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was just distracted. You're so pretty." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you." I was like, "I should move here. I don't get this at home." Like, oh my. And she was like, "You're just so pretty." And I was like, okay, you're my favorite vegan spot, okay? So that didn't hurt.
Now I see why you went there 3 times.
That didn't hurt.
I get it now. Now I understand.
Didn't hurt. So, but that was, we did a lot of fun, like, historical stuff, like Ford's Theater. We went to the Air and Space Museum. We saw the space shuttle.
No, none of your trip looked fun. It looked so boring.
Are you being serious?
I swear! I wanted to mute your Instagram while you were there. I was like,
You are so uncultured.
No more history pictures, please.
Oh my god, it was amazing. It was like, I love museums. I love going to museums wherever I travel. And like, it's DC. Like all the 99% of the museums are free. And like, there's freaking, all the big historical things are in that city. It just blew my mind. It was amazing. This
is coming from somebody who listens to a history podcast, don't you? Admit to our listeners.
I do. I've mentioned it. Stuff you missed in history class. I admit it. I'm not ashamed.
Just so everyone knows where you're coming from with this point of view.
I love history. I love historical stuff. And like when you go to DC, it's just like overwhelming. I didn't get to see everything. Like it was just crazy.
So you'd go back?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would. I mean, I wouldn't want to live there, but I definitely would want to go back and go to more museums and eat more food.
I'm going to be only a 2-hour drive from there when I go out for my tattoo. And I was wondering if I should drive there, but after seeing your Instagram,
you can go and eat. Like,
no, it's true. I could go
for
eat.
sure.
But I'm going
some
with the
stuff
muggle.
there that you would want. I don't know. Want to do. I don't know.
I mean, it can't be any worse than Virginia or Richmond, Virginia. That's where I'm going.
Oh no, I'm sure it's not.
So
there's probably stuff there you want to do, but I mean that's kind of like it's niche.
Yeah,
there's like museums and all the history there.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
I'm definitely
I'm still like shell shocked by all the stuff I saw. I'm like, this is the thing, or this is the place that this happened. I'm like,
I can tell because you're still posting pictures.
Yeah, we went to like JFK's grave, and I'm like, oh my god, and it was just like, there's so many things that like just were surreal for me. It blew my mind. So that's my thing. That's how I roll. So I was super excited about it. Lots of fun. It was just like I'm like speechless of the stuff I saw. Like it was amazing. So, and I saw my favorite stuffed dog, Sergeant Stubby. I saw him in real life, so I was really excited about that.
You saw a real life stuffed dog?
Yeah, so, I saw him in real life. I already knew about him. So years ago, I read this book called Sergeant. Somehow I got on this list of like war dogs and like dogs that were in the war and in a war, and like books about them. And I found this one called like Sergeant Stubby, and it was just a stray dog that got. He kind of like latched on to. He's a stray. And he latched onto this like group that was going to be being shipped out. And they smuggled him in World War I. They smuggled him over with them, and they became their mascot. And he like got injured a bunch of times, and he could he could hear like artillery coming in. And he would start barking because he could hear the whistle sooner than the humans could. He could also smell like mustard gas before they could smell it. He got injured from mustard gas, and they made him a little gas mask. Like this dog is amazing. He actually like attacked a German soldier and like got him under custody basically until they came and like took him away, and like This dog was amazing. He like he was like a huge celebrity after the war.
How do
presidents met him, gave him medals and everything.
Yeah, why don't all like people in war have dogs to help them then?
I don't know. But he wasn't supposed to be there. He was smuggled there and smuggled home. But then he became like a celebrity and like was in parades and had all these medals. And I mean, he lived a long life. And when he passed away, his owner like had him like the rest of him cremated and had him stuffed. And then when when his human died, he donated him to Smithsonian.
Oh, so it was his actual body.
It's his skin,
stuffed,
essentially.
Oh wow, that's very creepy.
It's on my Instagram. You want to see? So he was there.
No, I don't.
So I was just like I was like, ooh! I was like...
Okay, listeners, would you like to know her Instagram?
So I was like, I was a little starstruck that Sergeant Stubby was there. He was so cool. I was looking for him. We went through the whole... He's in this part of the American... the National History of... No, wait, what the fuck is it called? The National Museum of American History, one of the Smithsonian's. And in like the section he's in, I like went through the whole thing. It's called The Price of War, and the World War I section is very small. It's all about mostly the Revolutionary War and then World War II and Vietnam. And I like going through. I'm like, where is he? Where is he? Like I don't see Sergeant Stubby. We like finished. And I'm like, oh my god! Like what if they moved him? And like I didn't see him. I was like looking for him. I wanted to see him so bad. I went to DC. So we like went back in, and he was like. The pictures I saw online of him were like he was in a different area. So I was looking for like his own like cabinet thing where he was in, but he was like put in with other things. And I was like, we found him. And I was like, Sergeant Stubby. And like this kid came up. I was sitting there looking at him and I was all excited. And this kid came up. He's like, is that a dead dog? Not to me, to his dad.
Yes, child, it is.
I'm like, it's Sergeant Stubby. He's awesome. And I'm like, these kids need to get together and, like, read this book about Sergeant Stubby because he's awesome.
Did you reprimand the child?
I didn't, but I tried to enlighten him. What kind of parent are you that this kid doesn't know about Sergeant Stubby? So, no. I don't know. He's so...
I know what kind of parent
he was awesome. So, I was excited to see him, even though, it was kind of weird seeing a dead dog. But he had an awesome life, so that's why he's in there. So, yeah. Different strokes for different folks, I suppose.
Oh man, that story about Sergeant Stubby makes me whimper.
Stubby. He's stuffy now, but his name was Stubby.
Sergeant Stubby.
Hey,
Stubby.
he had a great life.
Stubby.
He did great things. He survived the war. He passed away peacefully in his sleep when he was 10 years old. That's a pretty good life. So.
All right.
He didn't have a tragic life. So otherwise I'd be like, Stubby. He had a good life. So. That was all my food and stuffed dogs for DC.
All right, so we're super excited to have Mel Vanderhorst of Vegan Kids Magazine joining us today. Thank you so much for joining us, Mel.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me on.
This is the first time we've actually seen people that we're interviewing that's not in our face, like actually here.
Yeah.
So this is interesting.
I feel bad for our listeners that they don't get to see you because you're super cute in the face. I want to say.
In the facial area?
You know, the area that I can see right now.
We'll assume the rest of it looks good too, but
Thank you guys. You guys are really cute as well.
She's beating me on the hair game, obviously, but I do what I can.
I
that's
cheated.
amazing.
Yeah, you cheated. That's not natural, believe it or not. This
No,
is not natural.
All right, so let's start off by, you can tell us a little bit maybe about how the magazine got started?
Yeah, cool. So I had been wanting to make something that was vegan themed. I'm a photographer by trade, but I also do graphic design. And I was like, I really want to use that to inspire people to look into vegan. And initially I was doing graphic design for adults, and I was wanting to print them on t-shirts. And then I was like, oh, wait, this is super cool for kids. And then I was looking into what kids have available for them out there about vegan. And I was like, there's not enough. And vegan's growing all the time. And I just really wanted to create something cool for them. So yeah, I started doing graphic design for them. And then I was like, I'm going to start a magazine. And I just sent out emails and everyone was really excited. And I just went from there.
Wow, that's really awesome. So do you have any experience with magazines at all, or is any kind of zine?
No, none. No, it's my first one. It's been such a learning curve. I've been working so hard, pulling all-nighters all the time. Just kind of trying to learn the style of magazine. And I'm really proud of it, but it is my first ever magazine. Yeah.
Well, I agree. Something that we've talked about on the podcast previously is the lack of information or whatever for vegan kids. Because I think we covered when the vegan Christmas book came out about like Santa being nice to his reindeer. I was excited that came out.
So we watched your Kickstarter video on YouTube, and I know that you mentioned 4 points, and I was wondering if you could talk about those 4 points for our listeners.
So the first point is to educate kids in a way that is super duper fun and is really interactive for them, and it's just a really great way to put across the vegan message in a way that is good for kids to understand. The second way is to inspire kids into just looking more into animal rights and health, and just getting them really excited about the vegan message. And the third way is to empower kids to know that they actually can make a difference in animals' lives, in terms of spreading the message, and just empower them to know that even though they're kids, they actually can help, and just get them really passionate and enthusiastic. And the fourth way is just building community with vegan kids and having them know that they're not alone. And I've got kids that have written into the magazine and articles on kids that are vegan, and just helping them know that there are actually vegan kids out there, even if they feel like maybe they don't know many at school or whatever. They're part of something really big, and I really want to make them feel like they're part of a really cool club that,
Yeah,
That's so cool.
I think that's important because when you're a kid, the last thing you want to do is stick out or be different than your friends. And
Totally.
As an adult, you're like, of course you want to be different, but it's hard to understand that as a kid. So I think this being a resource to be like, it's okay to be different, you know what I mean? But there are others that share your lifestyle or interests. That's really important for kids.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that's the main thing that I'm trying to have the magazine do, as well as having so much cool information and just being awesome.
That helps.
Would you say that there's a target age range that you think this magazine is appropriate for?
Yeah, I would say that kids from reading age, so maybe from 5 would get something out of it, definitely. It might be a little bit tricky for the kids as young as that, but I think they would definitely get something out of it, and all the way up to 12.
What did I want to ask? Oh, have you had any feedback from kids who have read it?
No, not yet. Not yet. No, it's not out yet. It's coming out on the 8th.
On August 8th?
Yes, on August 8th.
And is it available? So when you say a downloadable PDF, that's like on iPads and iPhones. Is that the best way for kids to read it electronically?
Yeah, definitely. I think some of the activity pages would be really cool to just have printed out, so that they can write on them and stuff. But iPads and tablets.
I mean, that's where things are going, but there's been studies shown that you absorb information differently when you're reading it on paper and then when you're reading on a screen. Mm-hmm. So, like, obviously the coloring stuff, you're not going to do that too effectively on an iPad. But I think there's something that you gain from not having it downloaded. Even though kids are like, oh, like iPads, you know, even just with articles or whatever, you absorb it differently when it's on paper.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit more personal to actually hold something.
Especially when you're a kid. When you're a kid, it's a whole different thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like that was important to me as a kid, even though I didn't have an iPad because it didn't exist. But, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely was like no technology when I was a kid. I think Game Boys came out when I was like a teenager.
You're like, I saw the first airplane, go.
We don't talk about ages on this podcast.
Oh, okay. I don't want to be ageism. Get hit with ageism suit.
One of the things that you mentioned was that you have children write in so that the reader can kind of have somebody that they can relate to. Are there other I want to say the word columns, but that's probably not even a real thing, but like sections or regular segments of your magazine?
Yeah, cool. So this month I've got Dr. Anthony Hatin. I don't want to say that wrong. Who's written 2 articles for me, as well as a vegan dentist who's talking about the difference between teeth and what your teeth tell you about what humans are meant to eat. And a counselor who's written about just being a little bit different. And how to interact with kids in a world where vegan isn't, the normal thing yet. And then I've got an article about, what is calcium and why do we drink cow's milk in there as well. Oh, and I forgot to say the doctor wrote just a general thing about what the benefits of plant-based diet, as well as a page on protein.
Hitting all the big hitters in that first.
I know, it's amazing. But you know what? I was kind of worried about not having enough content for future magazines, but there's so much to write about when it comes to vegan. It could go on forever.
Yeah, this is our 22nd episode, so we're never running out of stuff to talk about. Things are always happening, so yeah, you'll definitely have content.
Yeah, not worried.
Are you envisioning it being like a quarterly magazine or a monthly magazine?
Yeah, I would love it to be monthly, but I am working on it by myself. So there's just way too much work for it to be monthly. I'm going to definitely aim for quarterly.
Yeah, we feel you, because there are people that do podcasts every week, and I'm like, do they not have jobs? Do they not have lives? I mean, we do this monthly, and it's a ton of work. And I'm like, that's like the same kind of quarterly in podcast world. Monthly is quarterly. So I get it. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
So I guess what I really want you to tell our listeners is how to get it, because I feel like even if somebody doesn't have kids, everyone has nieces and nephews and friends' kids, and so I was wondering if you could tell us, do you even know how we're getting it here in the U.S.?
I've spoken to the lovely people at Eco Joya. I hope I'm not saying that wrong, but they make eco t-shirts and they do printing, and they're going to be doing my fulfillment in the US. So just through my Etsy page, just look up Vegan Kids Magazine on Etsy and you'll find it. So they'll be doing my US fulfillment, and in Australia and worldwide, same thing, through my Etsy store. And for the download, same again, through my Etsy store. For the downloadable one, it will be available pay as you feel. So I'm going to have a bunch of different prices that you can pay available, but it's the same content. That way it's super accessible, because I don't want cost to be a factor in getting the information, because it's really valuable.
Right. Yeah, we'll include a link. I'll find the link and I'll put it in the show notes. People, if they're interested, they'll just be right there when they're listening to the episode. So.
Yeah, amazing.
Starting August 8th, it's available, so I can share it on social media and people will be able to go to your store?
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Okay, I will.
So do you have a website for it, or an Instagram, or any Twitter, any of that stuff?
Yeah, I've got an Instagram that I'm really active on, which is at Vegan Kids Magazine.
Awesome. All right. Well, did you want to say anything else?
Just how exciting the magazine is, and how valuable the content is. And I'm just really excited to be with the journey and just watch it grow. And yeah, I've got Dr. Granger. Not sure if you guys know who that is, but super awesome vegan doctor, working with me on the next one. And yeah, I'm just excited to have more people getting involved. And if you know any vegan kids who want to write in, or if you want to write an article or submit anything, just get in contact with me via Instagram.
Well, I can tell that you're super passionate about this, and your enthusiasm is contagious, and I'm super excited to share your project with the world. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Okay, now it's time for Wag or Whimper. This is our regular segment where we talk about a vegan product that we tried for the very first time, and we decide if it made us wag or whimper.
Yep.
So I have a whimper.
Big surprise. Just hating on everything over here. Hating on Stubby.
It's
hating
true.
on this item you'll hear about.
Mm-hmm. I might hate Stubby more than this item.
Hating on history. Like,
oh yeah, I definitely hate history more than this item. So I noticed two things when I was at the store the other day. One is that the Califia creamer that I usually buy to put in my coffee now comes in the plastic container, the curvaceous plastic container.
The curvaceous.
That the almond
container.
milk also comes in.
Yeah.
But like a smaller version, like a half size. Like a skinnier, curvy version. And I also noticed that they had a new flavor, which was Mexican cocoa. So
intriguing.
In general,
I would be like,
yeah, there was some.
That's how it gets you.
And
there was some.
And I will say that I have a past of not caring for Mexican hot cocoa. The times that I've tried it in the past, I prefer regular cocoa. That being said, I was not.
You did it anyway.
I did it anyway. I was not a fan. And therefore, the Califia Mexican cocoa creamer made me whimper.
So you just didn't like it? No, nothing more specific.
I usually have the vanilla, and I really like the vanilla. I shouldn't have strayed.
Okay.
It was Defeat's fault.
Blame it on the partner. That's what I do too. So I have a wag, and I know that the Unreal, what was it? Like what was it supposed to be?
The ones that I tried? The ones that I tried were the quinoa M&M ones.
M&Ms, right? The vegan M&Ms. So this is by the same company that was Robin's Whimper last time. So, excuse me. I tried the quinoa peanut butter cups, and we picked them up when last time we were at Vegan Republic in Berkeley, and I was like, oh, I'll just try these. They're individually packed, so they were like, I liked that.
I like that too.
And they were like not huge, and I love peanut butter cups, so I was like, yeah, okay, we'll do that. And they were really good. And the quinoa, like you said, didn't work in the M&Ms. It worked in this. Okay. It did give you that crunch that we were talking about. Yeah. That is what it's supposed to mimic or be. And I feel like it worked for me. It worked for me in the peanut butter cups. And they're like super, like they start melting right away, which is kind of nice. And they're really good. I had one last night too, because I bought enough. Because then we found them at Whole Foods. It brought to my attention. Because sometimes Whole Foods is just too much, And if you're not looking for a specific thing, you don't see new things. Yeah. So that's why we saw them at Vegan Republic, and then we've been buying it again at Whole Foods. So they're really good. So the Unreal Quinoa Peanut Butter Cups made me wag.
I'm glad you had a good experience.
Wag
with
like
them.
Stubby.
No!
Stubby!
Oh god, I hope I can go my whole life without hearing Stubby things. Alright, so I guess that wraps up episode 22. If anyone's listening on YouTube, you can leave us comments because we like them, and people don't really leave us comments on there, and it's really sad. So you could be the one to make our day.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Just Kimmy. Keep it up, Kimmy.
Come on, Kimmy. Where have you been? Where have you been the last couple episodes?
If you'd give up, there's nobody.
And if you're listening on iTunes, then you can leave us 5-star reviews, and you can also leave comments on there.
And I'm sorry if you have reviewed, I haven't even checked. So next month I'll be back on the ball. So if you review, I'll get you next week. Yeah. Next month.
And we really like reading the comments. It makes us happy. And it reminds us that we're not just doing this for ourselves. Yeah. Because we could just be hanging out and not recording, and it would be easier for Ashley.
It would be easier, yeah.
So prove that you're out there and give us some comments. And also, if you subscribe, then that's good too, I think. Right?
Yeah, that's good. Yes.
Please subscribe if you haven't already. And Ashley, if listeners want to find you on the internet, where should they look?
You can find me at theveganadventure.com. That has all my social media links on there in one place. And I'm working on almost finished with the LA post, which I know is it's a monster and is going to be constantly changing. But I'm working on that, and then I'm going to have the DC one up timely. So that'll be coming to the blog. Nice. What about you, Robin?
Are you going to have your LA post done by Monday so that I can read it before I go?
Damn
it.
I get that from New Vegan.
God.
No.
Thanks, New Vegan,
Pick
for that
different.
fun thing that you just gave us, that fun gift. Okay, if you want to find me on the internet, I'm at vegandollhouse.com, and on Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, Snapchat, Gmail, etc. I am just Vegan Dollhouse. And our Dolls and Donuts is different everywhere because of the length of our name. So if you go to Dolls and Donuts, spelled the traditional way.com, then you can find links to everything.
Yep.
Bye.
Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.
Dolls and donuts, we are two dolls, we like animals. As a bonus, we eat donuts.
Ooh, I just looked into my bottom of my glass and like Colin Firth's face was like big and it was nice.
You love it.
It was pleasant.
You're like, it just made me want to drink it more.
I was like, drink it to the bottom. Water's pouring out. Oh, Mr. Darcy.
The behind the scenes.
I'll drown for Mr. Darcy. That's gonna be the title, and this is gonna be it. That's the behind the scenes to episode title. Which is kind of, if you are into like Jane Austen, like the Colin Firth version of Pride and Prejudice. It's like there's that whole like when he dives into the pond and he comes out and his shirt's all sticking to him. Darcy fans will know what I mean. So the water thing is like funny. It's like, hey, it's because it's like remember he gets in the pond and he like everyone's like, oh, and he comes out of the pond, he's got a shirt and it's all sticky. Okay.
These are for the inside joke people that your Instagram is for, because half of the posts you post on Instagram, I'm like, I have no idea what this means. Your entire Instagram is a clueless corner.
Obscure Ashley like references. Okay.
Yes, exactly.